So I think when I just saw that little pattern, made me feel inspired. But I also love these clips, which I had really hard time making those look like clips. I just couldn't get the color right.
So how did you find changing from still life? When you're in here, you're usually doing still life, and you're out there doing landscape. How was that?
You know, it's funny because I never did still life until I came in here. Now, I like painting a real thing, and I've gotten to the point where I just hate painting from photographs, even though it's easier. It's a lot easier than going in. But I loved the show. So it was. Are you talking about these, or when I went to France and did
both?
Okay, when I went to France and we did plein air, I was terrified, but I did it, and I was glad to try again, and I have tried over the years and never been very good at it. But I was hoping that what I had learned here from doing still life, which is observing and painting, would sort of carry over and maybe would make it a little bit easier for me to paint plein air. I'm not sure it did, but...
Can you show everyone the vinyl-like thing?
It's called Easy L, and it you hold it up to your scene, and the best thing for me is that the black frame blocks out everything else, so that I'm not so distracted by all the other birds and trees. It's great, and it has a little center. It has these things that you can use, little values, which I didn't, but it just helps you to figure out where you want to place the subject.
And then it's gridded.
And the grid. And then you have a magic marker that goes with it, which I left at home, that has a sort of sponge thing for erasing. So you can sketch it in and get it set, and then you have it there beside you while you're doing your sketch. Anybody else have anything they want to tell me about?
It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
I like the one on the right because there's a sense of light to it. The light's coming in from that white field in the distance, coming across it. And you might even put more shadows on one side of that pathway.
Put more shadows on here.
On the right, on that side, on the right, right there. Just so that, it's in shadow.
Just to sort of hold it down and balance the other.
Yeah. But it's beautiful. It has a very nice, fresh feel, freshly painted feel.
And you're actually telling us you only did 2 today?
There's another one, but it's not finished yet.
How do you paint that fast?
They're just sketches, really, Herman. If you notice, I mean, everybody else does these finished things, and mine are basically just a drawing with the brush. And if I go more than that, I tend to overdo it.
You are
Trying
so
to teach
right.
myself.
If you try to do like a painting in class, you slow down. And if you think, I'm just going to be fresh and spontaneous and try to capture that brushwork that makes it alive, and don't care whether it's finished or not, if it's going to be a painting or not, but you're just capturing as much spontaneity and brushwork that's interesting as you can, then you're surprised sometimes.
Sometimes
it really,
sometimes the sketch.
it's a better painting than if you slow down your process and work. And I speak from experience. I have done such tedious work sometimes that I just, after 20 hours of labor, I go tear it up.
I understand. So you don't draw with pencil?
I do draw.
With pencil?
I draw fast, really fast.
With pencil?
With pencil.
Okay.
Just very simply. I took a class
Big
once
shapes.
where the teacher, only one thing remained from the whole class. The
Okay.
teacher said, draw as quickly as you can and leave the drawing as fast as you can. Get into the painting as quickly as you can. And I thought that was interesting advice, and I tried it. And I like the sense of not laboring over the drawing. It keeps me from getting too involved in still.
I just am trying to do bigger shapes, not get into the details, and they're in acrylic, they're not watercolor.
You have to leave.
Those are acrylics?
Yes.
This is watercolor paper.
There's a certain acrylic quality
I
to
took
that, I
the
thought.
photographs and I was trying to figure out how to simplify the trees And
Always a challenge.
so I'm trying to simplify because in a way I'd like to go towards more abstract. So, and this of course I got into the details. There's a lot of shapes, but we were at Dumbarton Oaks and I just thought the shapes were beautiful.
Question, how do you do the central tree there that has the brand on the top?
This?
Yes, it's blended in, you blend it with water or with something else to blend it?
I painted it with,
How do you blend it that well over there?
you just go in before it dries.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And you use medium.
Or you use the
Yes.
retarder or
It,
what?
no, I think I use satin glaze,
Oh, okay.
so that helps to blend it. So.
I like the composition of this a lot.
But I was looking at it from over there, and this looks like a tree trunk.
It's not?
It's not a tree trunk?
No, it's a pathway that was dark because this tree was over.
Well, so go with it.
Go with it.
Go with it. It looks like a tree trunk. It's fine.
It's the back and the ends of the tree.
And I love the fact that you have that, whatever that is, cobalt blue, teal blue, with the orange in the tree. It works beautifully.
Oh, thank you.
Or the path, or whatever.
I think if you want that to be a path, it needs to be different colors.
More blue.
That's right.
But it's nice. Your shadow shapes are so interesting and fun to look at. And then, so I'm wondering about the foreground of the white sidewalk. That's the only place. where
You
the
know, that
shadows
was
are
bothering
less.
me too, and I thought I'd bring it to class and see if other people had the same problem.
I
So
want
it is
the
me.
same kind of
Yeah.
interest that you
Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
that's what I was thinking
Continuation.
that I would. It's just that it's darker back here, but it should be lighter and should be, yeah. I had thought of that, and I thought I'll just wait and see what other people have to say, and they said the same thing.
But Rosa, you have attained an abstract quality.
Yeah.
And I especially love the cloud on the smaller one that is an echo of the trees to the left.
So I painted from a photograph that I took. I went to the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts in Richmond to see the flower. And then we have a beautiful pool outside with Siberian iris and water lilies and things like that. So I painted from that last week, kind of looking through the grass to this is supposed to be water and then today I started something that would be like more of a close-up.
I love the colors. It's beautiful.
You do green so well.
And what's beautiful also is the way you've integrated the top part, the watery part, with the bottom, with the foliage. It's really lovely.
So I was waiting until I got to class to see if it's finished.
Well, what is the top?
It's the top
It's
is
water.
Well, actually, there's all water behind, but this part was very dark, and then this was lighter because I was kind of at eye level.
I feel like the top needs to be a little bit more
darker.
integrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know,
It's a whole different
but I don't know
style.
what to tell you to do
Yeah.
that, other than maybe take some of that dark, what is that, cobalt turquoise or whatever, Prussian,
Yeah.
and put a little bit, it doesn't have to be as dark.
Bring
as
a
that.
bluer, something
Yeah,
with
so
the
to make
top.
it more
Yeah.
Maybe just
gradated.
Just in a few
Yeah,
places
fade it
or
in.
something.
On the
Yeah.
right side, you see the water fades into the white.
Yes.
On the left side, you go from white to dark,
Yeah.
so that you could just
Yeah.
fade it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, in some ways, I keep it from going to that corner where my finger is.
Right, instead of to the
Yeah.
purple,
Cut
yeah.
them from
Yeah.
leaving.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one thing that I always try to think when I go through something that blocks a background. I try to make both sides either the same or going on so that it gives you the idea of continuation. If not, sort of like stops on a line, right?
But that's just a minor thing.
Yeah.
Lovely painting.
This is a painting that started with a drawing last week. And that's Margetta underneath her tree. And I only drew part of it last week, so all of this stuff up here I kind of had to invent today, and I'm not sure that I can invent. It seems like it kind of, well, this is over here on this side, and maybe I need.
There's nothing wrong with things disappearing on the
I
side.
don't know. I like the balance
Yeah, I think it's fine.
on the
Disappears.
left-hand side with the white on the other.
You know, I don't know if it wants to be a color draw painting or a value. I don't know which one you want to
I don't
What's the
know.
difference? Color
But that
drop.
would help to know. Because then we could say, darken it up or make it more colorful.
Maybe some more darks in the leaves on the trees, but not a lot.
Were you using pen on that?
There was some pen in there. I have this pen that goes on brown, but if you add water to it, it turns purple. So I drew the
That's
tree with that
confusing.
pen on purpose
Really?
because I wanted it to turn purple.
I think it just wants to be color. From what you're saying.
Yeah, I think
They wants to be color. Yeah, and think about, you know, where do you want your eye to go? Where is your focus? I think it's the tree and
Margetta.
Karen, you mean with Steve Fleming too long?
I'm sorry.
She sounds
I'm
like
sorry.
him.
I think it's color. That's what you. I just wanted to capture suggestiveness of the flowers. You know, not paint them out completely, but just capture a gesture, really, of them. And I do, as you can tell, I'm so value oriented, and I keep trying to get more color into my work, and I'm going to try to do that because I think the values and color are a nice combination of things. So anyway, I didn't really want to paint the flowers like they tightly. I wanted to let them be very loose and fade in and out. So that was my first kind of startup painting, and then what I really wanted to paint today was this photograph of these rocks up in Rockport, Massachusetts, which are, you can just sit at the ocean and look at these rocks for hours as the waves come in. And you don't, and up there, it's not like the Bahamas, the ocean is gray, you know, sometimes it's blue, but more gray than it is blue. And I just like, I like the spontaneous brush, entertaining brushwork. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but, and I'm not sure this is totally there yet, but it's fun to let your eye complete the picture and not, you know, completely draw it out. So that's again, these are just like, I view these as like exercises. They're not paintings. But anyway, so.
Well, mine, I'd say, was a painting.
And knowing, having drawn rocks in Maine or painted them, I know that I could get in hours because there's so many details and you've really done it so freshly. It's really nice.
And that is the ocean. I mean, I can see that's it.
Did you scrape at all now?
My homework from last week from Hernan was to paint rocks, which I did not manage to accomplish at all.
Oh, that's lovely.
Is that you, Paul?
And probably the least rocky thing about this painting is the rocks. But I used wax paper, I used salt.
Is that UFO or is
Yeah, that's you.
that's beautiful?
Did wax paper work on you or too?
Wax paper.
I bet it works great on you.
Is it like
Yeah.
a sponge? How do you use the wax paper?
Crumple it like Deborah does and put your team up on it.
Yeah.
And then the screen you were using.
The screen, yeah, and scraping pencil with
Sandpaper.
sandpaper makes little
Looks beautiful.
I wanted to play with all my techniques today. I forgot to use intervals.
I was gonna say, I didn't see any butterflies in there. Are those pansies? No, not on the left, on the right. Or they were just,
They were clovers.
oh,
These
they
are
were
a little bit,
clovers.
these
Just
are
a
a little
flower. I
bit
knew they
majestic
were a
clover.
flower.
Clovers generally are a little more shy, but
You're great.
And is that the ocean or the sky?
that's the Potomac.
Okay. Yeah, I love it.
Doesn't that say Potomac to you?
Now it does.
It's a little too clean.
No, I did the version of this last week.
Right, that was
So I wanted to
beautiful.
play with it again.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I
So I will
think
continue to do rocks this summer and on. By the time we return to class in the fall, I will have a portfolio of rocks.
I think your color
Is your medium too? We got another one.
And I think you should pass it around because the details are just lovely.
Yeah, you cannot see very
But don't touch it.
I think it's
Don't
pretty
touch
dry.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't spit on it.
I'm inclined to put a sunny face on this because I didn't think, is it Sue's Kishin
I
perspective?
can see it.
So, I don't
The
know.
wine bottle is
I
beautiful.
said a funny face and I looked at it.
Well, I don't know if you buy wine for the wine. I buy it for the labels and the
I think
sequins.
most people do.
And so that's all I have to say, except Rosa brought art news today. And I just want to tell you that women are still behind in the art world. The good news is in 2005, 32% of women ran museums. It's up to 42.6. And
Most of them here in
in
Washington.
2007, the Whitney gave women 29% of the shows, but that's still not good. And the Guggenheim in 2000 gave none.
Wow, you got a long way to go.
This is what I started here today, and I'm putting this to up partly because someone said that I should put it up, and I brought them to actually show it to Rosa, but I would like some feedback.
Oh, and I think that
That's not what I'm.
No, it's not watercolor. On this one, I'm trying to do something that I usually don't do, that is paint negatively, but I'm having lots of problems with it. So I don't know what's going to happen, but this is the start.
It has a lot of potential.
Could be. The picture is very nice, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. The other two are skins.
The one on the end. Could we turn it up?
This
or
one?
down? Yeah. I'd like to see it vertical.
Well, it's acrylic, and it's done. Both of them are acrylic, yes. And this is okay. On this one, it's acrylic paste here, and the background it's copper leaf, and then this paste I sanded it down with sand and water, sandpaper.
So you
but
put
water.
your copper down and something on top of it, and then you sand.
Right, and then I started scraping it out so that it came back and stayed in some places. And then I made a big skin and put it there. It doesn't necessarily represent anything, but
It conveys the feeling of water, a river running past, sandstone in the Southwest, in the Grand Canyon, without being, it's not, I'm not saying that it's
yeah.
representational, but you've captured that feeling. I don't know if that's what you're intending to.
And the skins are done by adding layers of you can do it on this, for instance, on freezer paper. And so you put layers of acrylic paint, and eventually when they're really dry, you can just peel them off, and it's just like a skin.
So when you were painting that middle one, what was in your head as far as, were you thinking of landscape or imagery?
No, I was thinking of something different.
Yeah.
But when I finished this one, I didn't like it for what I had thought about it. So I said, because of the colors, that it would look good on top of the copper of the bottom. You can't see it, but the bottom of the reflection, it's because there's copper underneath.
Yeah.
All of it.
Colors.
So then it helps the glow of the acrylic to go, the light go through and come back. Like, so
So the
and then I cut it.
part of the skin is transparent?
Oh yes, part of the skin is transparent. I mean, if you look at here, there's no color really.
So how do you get the skins to stick? Or they just
They do stick, even if you don't want them to stick, but it's a problem. Rosa told me the other day that it's a UV thing that I have to put on.
Or spread?
Right, on a spray so that it doesn't stick anymore afterwards.
And so it's
So I just cut through, and that was what took the most, to cut the little places, and then I added some, if you look at it carefully, there's some pieces that look like collage, there's added pieces of skin that I cut, I put over there.
How long does that process take?
The process,
Yeah, how long does it take?
depending on how thick you put it, a layer can dry very fast or can take a day to dry. Sometimes when I did this one, for instance, or the original one, that took like a day, because what I did is I put a lot of acrylic medium on the surface that I was using, and then I started pouring paint and moving the paint inside. So, and I added retarder so that I could, paint for a longer time, and then it just,
And then when you peel off the skin, you lay it down on the paper.
you lay it down on whatever you want to lay it down. I mean, some people cut it and put it in like collage and stuff like that, and I did some of that. Now this is a whole skin. I didn't cut it, not anything. And it's 5 layers of skin here. 5 different layers. And one of them, the one that gives, I don't know if you can see the little bubbles in there, these little bubbles. I mixed it with paint, and then I spray them with alcohol, and then it takes all these little.
Do you paint the paper first or the canvas?
This one is painted first, yes.
Yeah.
It's blue, and then
I see, and then everything, the paint behind shows through the skin.
the paint behind shows through the skin. Let us see. See, this skin is not completely.
Oh, I see.
See how the background is? Now this is the color of the paper, and this is the color of the skin. Now my problem was it's going to be, putting all these things together. But as paintings, but nobody has to do anything to say.
To me, the middle one seems done. Like it's like great, finished, beautiful, and interesting and intriguing, and you feel like there's different things. And the one on the right, I feel like you're in process.
Yeah, I haven't finished it, but I'm not sure.
I was thinking you would crop a little on, when you had it the other way around, crop the top and the left-hand side.
Crop the top.
Crop, yes, I was doing
When
like
you do it
this.
where?
At the top, turn it around to the way it was before.
Oh, make it vertical.
And if you cropped a little bit the top and the left-hand side, it makes her a very interesting composition. But makes you, but I think it improves the balance.
Right now, it's a little too uniform.
Right. I just put it like this
Right.
because, first of all, I wanted to see how it looked on the back, with the with the back.
I was wondering to go away with that. You know, the colors are fabulous. The colors are beautiful. And I keep looking for sort of where to get the focus. Where should I look?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
On this one.
Right, yeah.
Right.
The other one is very clear where I should look. It's the contrast between the white and all that wonderful background.
Right. I mean, this is sort of at the center of interest, but it makes you look up anywhere.
So I don't know if you really want to. Maybe you don't want to have a center of interest. I don't
Right.
know. But
Well, it's abstract. It's not.
abstract still.
I still has to have a center of interest. I
And
understand.
you don't have patterns in that other one.
No, I don't. No.
So give us some patterns.
Okay.
My poppies are about to bloom, so I thought I'd do some practice with some Yupo.
Beautiful.
And I did, I used Caran d'Ache to draw, and you can see the, and then I used just the regular. But they're not finished, they're just ideas.
I think the one on the left is finished.
Yeah.
The one on the right is finished.
I love the one on the left.
Yeah, the one on the left is superb.
Those pods are great. That's the thing. The pods are very pretty.
What, this?
No, the pods on the left. Those two green pods. In that painting, the two green pods.
Oh, the pods.
Yeah. I love that. The puppy
It's
pods.
finally dry. That's why I asked her now that question, because Yupo usually doesn't dry very fast. Yupo does not dry, but these seem to be, we had lunch.
Because we ate some.
You can do skins on Yupo.
Pardon?
You can do the skins on Yupo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah, have to try that. Thank you.
Beth very nicely let me copy her photograph. So
I was thinking that looked like that.
What do you want to do still?
Well, I don't know. I was going to work more in here, and this was an area where there's a lot of dappled light, and so I wanted to put some contrast with the yellow in there, and also.
Well, I like the way that you made the light green really yellow so that it works with the violet.
Yeah,
It's really good.
I did this one in class, and Deborah suggested that I do a diptych, and so today I did the other part of it. It wasn't until I took the tape off that I realized that this was going to end in a straight line. So I guess if I matted it, I'd have to have two holes.
Not necessarily. That's beautiful.
If you did cut it in two, and you could have one pressing against the mat on the right hand side.
Right, have the mat go right down to the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was. And Rosa reminded me that I had to try and keep the colors similar, so I tried
So you
to do
just
that.
made up the one on the left?
No, I had a photograph.
Oh.
Somebody brought in the vase
Right.
flowers that day, and I had a picture on my iPad. So
What would you think about just extending the flower of the right hand, over into the other painting?
what I'm concerned that I'd still have a straight line there, even if I worked it.
What kind of paper is that?
Oh, it's just arches.
Is it 300 or 140?
140.
If 300, you can soften it and do it.
You think so?
Yep.
Well, I'll try. I guess I'm just afraid of ruining it.
Just paper.
You can always paint it again.
Maybe.
No, but if you extend it and you don't like it, you
You can still
You can just still cover it up, yeah, with the
Do you
mat.
think that's the best thing to do? Is to
Well, it depends what you want to do. If you want two separate paintings that are related in a mat, then leave it the way it is. But if you want to make it one united painting,
If it was one united painting, shouldn't this come off over
yeah,
here?
yeah. And some green should probably poke out.
Yeah.
But you could do it easily if you use darks. You put some darks where the line is now and extend them over. Yeah, I'm not making this, extend the shadow part of the flower that you've got there. No.
This?
Start here and make it a little bit darker and make it darker. You gotta do that. You can't just do the flower.
Oh, I love that.
Well, the only thing that's different that I did today was, last time we suggested darkening this and kind of grading it.
And that worked.
Yeah. I sort of had hoped it would be a little more graded, but I do think it helps.
It does. It goes so well with the orange spoon and the and the orange there on the left.
Very nice.
And this will probably take me the rest of the summer to finish. That was the mirror. Oh my God. I actually painted some today. The cup and the reflection and the tomato and the apple that I just put there for reasons that... You mean here? Yeah. I don't know.
I think it look. I guess I'm into on a cropping day. Yeah. But I'm putting my finger up, and I think it would be that white space if it were cropped would look really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to do anything with it till I get this part done. And cropping is appealing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Even a little lower. Yeah.
There you go.
And then maybe just leave it, I don't know.
I like it when you finish it first before you.
Yeah.
Yeah, before cropping. But
When you do the reflections of the cloths, I think make sure that it's a slightly different color from the other cloth.
So far, the only part I really, really like is that.
Well, I think the reflections are really beautifully done.
Yeah, I do too. I love the tomato with the big green stem coming out.
I'm sorry, what? Yeah, well, that's the mirror, and then there'll be, I've got the edge of the mirror there. And rose. The rose. Oh, I haven't put that in yet, but it will. Actually, what reflects is the bottle. The rose would be off the.
Oh, right.
There's a little bit in the bottle.
Judy, do you intend to have any more of that painting somewhere else in the painting?
Over here in the little picture. That glass had the spiral, and so I could make that blue. It doesn't have to be red. I went to a workshop on doing a series. It was about art quilts, but the series stuff applies, and they were saying work small, because and so I thought,
For a quilt, that would be small.
well, that's true, but they were talking like 12 by 12.
And it's the same painting that Judy had, so that's why.
Oh, I
That's the
see the
glass.
spiral that she was talking about.
Yes, there's the glass, and then this is the mirror, but I And there's gonna be more cherries down here. And then I don't know how to make it look mirror-ish.
Got a little softer edge. Reflection.
And these,
Yeah, generally have a slightly softer edge.
okay. And then I gotta put a line in there somewhere. It might get finished eventually. It might just stay the same way it is.
What'd you do today?
Well, I taped this off. Yay! I really worked hard at that. And then I did this, and after seeing everybody else eating, I was not very happy about showing. So blah.
I love the one on the right.
Yeah, that's my one.
You put a lot more contrast.
Yeah. In this, yes. And this I just started doing with a brush, and I thought, oh.
But it has a nice motion to it, kind of like a dancer.
Right. It's probably an end up being a turn.
That's very nice.
This one is from my back garden. Actually pointing to somebody else's house. I tried doing, starting out with cerulean, letting it dry, putting another layer, right here.
Sorry.
And then
That's beautiful.
This is today's, this is from a photograph. These are today from photographs. And
I love your dry brush work.
oh, thank you. Yeah, it's the rough paper.
Brush. It really shows up well. Definitely not here.
And then this is, I did it all out at the, where we were investing.
That's a great composition.
You know, the eye always goes to texture.
Yeah.
Always, and that's why it's
What I liked about this in the photograph was this pattern.
Yes.
Beautiful,
Are you going to do it in the background of the trees?
Sue.
Background of the trees, no. I made an earlier version of the same painting, and Deborah looked at it and said, I wish you'd done less. So this is the second one.
Well, really, the focus of the painting of the trees is you're looking at the shadows. That's where your eye seems to go down to.
Right.
And then you start going up.
Well, with the time of day, you have the sun coming across, which it often does in the back of our house, sort of a holly woods back there. So you do get the shadows.
But that's, there's so much richness of color in those shadows that that's like the focus of the painting.
Yeah, well, I think, being the Deborah was taught me to do darks. I had the darks the way I had
What is that rectangle there?
The bat box.
the tree picture. It's a birdhouse. It's actually a birdhouse that Sybil made us. Another Sybil, my grandmother.
The one on the left or the one on the right?
No, right here.
No, I'm talking
On the left.
on the left.
The middle tree.
Window
A window, okay.
of the house.
Wow. Lovely.
That one is beautiful.
Very nice.